Welcome to this year's celebration of the Campus Compact Impact Awards. I am honored to be serving as host for this year's celebration, and as the name suggests, this is very much a celebration. One that we, and I know I, all wish we were doing in person, over a delicious dinner, and in community with one another. But in the absence of that, a silver lining is that because we are virtual, in addition to our conference attendees who are joining us today, we're also joined by colleagues, partners, family members, and friends of the awardees. So welcome to all of you, in addition to our conference attendees. Campus Compact's Impact Awards recognizes individuals and institutions for their unique achievement in advancing the public purposes of higher education. Ultimately, these institutions and individuals are the best of the best in our field. Exemplars who are thrilled to be raising up and recognizing. Today, we will be presenting 5 awards that celebrate action-oriented individuals and institutions that are building bridges and creating partnerships that deepen student civic learning and strengthen local communities. Before we get started, I want to share just a little bit about the flow of our event. First, I'm going to provide some framing for each award, then announce the winners, and then the best part is you're going to hear directly from each awardee through a recorded video. Please help us celebrate our winners by adding your congratulations in the chat. We also want to recognize early on a critical partner of Compacts for these awards, the Swearer Center at Brown University. The team at Swearer oversees the review process for the faculty awards, including the Linton and Erlich awards, which you're going to learn more about momentarily. The center's deep commitment and pride in overseeing the award process is critical to the award's success and recognition in our field. So grab a little bubbly or coffee or whatever you fancy, and let's get to celebrating. The first award we will present tonight is the Ernest A. Linton Award for the Scholarship of Engagement. The Ernest A. Linton Award recognizes early career faculty who connect their expertise and scholarship to community outreach. Dr. Linton championed a vision of service that embraces collective responsibility and an understanding of colleges and universities as catalysts, not only in the discovery of new knowledge, but also the use of that knowledge to address social issues. Candidates for this award demonstrate excellence in each of the 4 criteria. First, a sustained effort in community outreach and professional service. Second, use of innovative and imaginative approaches. Third, institutional impact through teaching, program development, and student faculty participation. And finally, external success through scholarly output, community impact, and student learning. The selection of the Linton Award is very competitive, and the pool is magnificent. To that end, before we announce the recipient of this year's award, we want to recognize 2 finalists who are also exceptional engaged scholars. Elizabeth Nelson, an assistant professor of history at Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis, IUPUI, and Jody Benenson, an assistant professor for public policy and administration at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. It is now my pleasure to introduce the recipient of this year's Ernest A. Linton Award for the Scholarship of Engagement, Dr. Jessica Taylor, an assistant professor of history at Virginia Tech. Through partnerships with community groups, her scholarship seeks to understand how social and environmental inequities create landscape change across the Southeast, making history more inclusive and relevant. In her work with students, Jessica prioritizes community partners as co-teachers and offers students tailored engaged learning opportunities that meet their needs and interests. Meet Jessica.
Thank you to Campus Compact and to all of our community partners for letting me into their passion projects and finding space for me and my students. And I'd also love to thank the Department of History here at Tech for nominating me for this award and for encouraging me to apply and reading lots of drafts. So I am a public historian of the US South, specializing in oral history and Native history. I work collaboratively with tribal nations, archives, public schools, cultural organizations, and community leaders and activists to understand how social and environmental inequities create landscape change across the Southeast. I work with organizations requesting consultation or project partners and leaders, and invite students into the fieldwork and archiving process. As a scholar residing in Appalachian, Virginia, my teaching and research connect regional community partners and students in the study of Southern and Appalachian places and how they came to their present form. Many think of Southern rural places and Appalachia in particular as culturally, socioeconomically, and racially homogenous. I highlight in my teaching and research that not only is this incorrect, it is a result of intentional erasure. Through public history courses and projects, students learn how to translate their myth-busting research to the public. And my guided internships and public history classes employ project-based learning and fieldwork to engage students in work with understudied history, from interviews about segregation in Appalachia to exhibits to public history demonstrations focused on Appalachian women. These courses first create connection with historical individuals, facilitating discussion around sources like museum collections that will resonate with students from diverse backgrounds. Second, they empower students to cultivate skills with partners beyond Virginia Tech. Our students care about the future of this region, and in our classes, learn to communicate with relevance and contemporary fraught social context in mind. I want to thank my family for giving me roots in this place and for supporting my work and for supporting me.
Again, congratulations, Jessica. The second award we will be presenting today is the Eduardo Padron Award for Institutional Transformation. The Padron Award recognizes community colleges that have successfully implemented institution-wide efforts to address issues of public concern by aligning their teaching, research, practice, and values in service of the common good. This award is named for Dr. Eduardo Padron, President Emeritus of Miami-Dade College, a higher education leader whose efforts have transformed institutions to contribute to the goal of full participation in our communities and our democracy. This year, we are pleased to recognize 2 exemplary institutions as winners of the Padron Award. The first recipient is Madison Area Technical College, under the presidential leadership of Jack E. Daniels III. As a public, technical, and community college based in Madison, Wisconsin, Madison Area Technical College has committed to deep investments that provide access to historically underserved populations, strengthen community relationships, and confront racial inequities that have negatively impacted their communities. Get to know Madison College.
Welcome to Madison College, a technical college located in Wisconsin's capital.
Covering a span of 12 counties, the Madison College District sits on the ancestral homeland and treaty territories of the Ho-Chunk, Menominee, and Potawatomi people.
Today, we're one of the 16 schools in the Wisconsin Technical College system.
We offer nearly 200 academic and vocational programs with 8 metro and regional locations.
The Madison College vision is to be the leader in accessible, affordable education that meets the evolving needs of our diverse communities. We continue to take informed action in shaping our programs, services, and curriculum to create transformational change in the lives of those we serve. Located in the heart of Madison's most diverse communities is our newest facility, the Goodman South Campus. This campus is about more than additional classrooms in another location. The Goodman South Campus was started from a conversation about the needs of the South Madison community and serving a population that has been historically underrepresented and marginalized.
It is important for our college to serve the community's needs. As we established a campus on the south side of Madison, Wisconsin, it was important to listen to and understand the needs of the community, and subsequently develop a plan to provide service to a community long overlooked. The Goodman South Campus has been transformational for our students and the community surrounding the campus.
Historically, South Madison has been the first stop for many families new to this area. For the last 150 years, it has been an area of promise. And in that sense, establishing a campus here works towards fulfilling that promise. After significant community engagement, we developed a programming mix where our community can now pursue a degree in its entirety in areas that provide real opportunity: healthcare, education, STEM, and transfer. Newcomers can build English language skills and cultural fluency or obtain a high school credential. High school students can complete college credits and graduate with 2 degrees, becoming transfer ready by the time they graduate high school. We are part of a unique ecosystem where, with community partners, we build pipelines and pathways to these opportunities. That commitment to respect and excellence is reflected in our hallways, our walls, and most importantly, our staff.
Our presence and commitment to South Madison has been a catalyst for further economic and community development. Partnerships that were developed prior and during the building of the Goodman South Campus have been enhanced, and we continue to work together on key issues in the community.
The Goodman South Campus is an access point for a community experiencing many inequalities. Finding ways to engage with historically underrepresented and underserved communities doesn't stop there. In 2021, Madison College formed the Office of Community Engagement, who have been charged with improving and increasing our engagement, specifically with communities that have been historically underserved and underrepresented, which are also racialized communities.
Our focus is to help our communities be seen and to have a voice at Madison College. In the past year, we've worked on a variety of initiatives in partnership with our communities. They include a donation drive done in partnership with the Ho-Chunk Nation to assist Afghan families who were relocated to Wisconsin, our first virtual Hmong New Year celebration, a Black culinary series in February.
Madison College is excited, proud, and humbled to receive the Eduardo J. Padron Award for Institutional Transformation from Campus Compact. I'm also proud to receive this award on behalf of Madison College because it is reflective of the philosophy and commitment to communities development that Dr. Padron has maintained throughout his career.
Congratulations to everyone at Madison College. The second recipient of this year's Padron Award for Institutional Transformation is Tarrant County College Southeast Campus, under the leadership of President Bill Coppola. As a public college located in Arlington, Texas, Tarrant County College Southeast Campus takes a holistic approach to their engagement agenda and vision to help humankind through working to identify and meet the needs of the community, educate and activate students for political participation, and embrace and celebrate a culture of diversity. Get to know Tarrant County College Southeast Campus.
I'm Dr. Faust, Associate Professor of History at Tarrant County College and Chair of the District Civic Engagement Work Team. Our Civic Engagement Committee created a mission statement with 3 pillars to support civic engagement, facilitate opportunities for students in and out of the classroom, and to educate faculty and staff on this foundational part of our culture. We practice these by working to identify and meet needs of the community, engage students socially and politically, and embracing and celebrating culture and diversity. These components are woven into our events, activities, and curriculum. We strive to normalize involvement in the political process, making students advocates of political participation.
In a government class, students talking about the ways that laws affect them or their community, and maybe they want to make changes. But now, instead of just having that discussion or debate in the classroom, we can actually extend that and have them write letters to congressmen.
Voting matters because, let's be honest, we all want to make a difference. We all have a smart part to play, and I feel like voting is the part that we have to play. I feel like it gives us a voice, a chance to say whether we like something or not.
Our social focus is on areas of need in our community and the student body. From food insecurities to environmental sustainability, there is no shortage of needs. Our Environmental Sustainability Committee provides community garden and aquaponics system, among other sustainable efforts.
Aquaponics, which basically combines aquaculture, the raising of fish, with hydroponics, growing plants in water. And when you combine these two industries, you eliminate the problems with both. Not only is it more sustainable, it's fresher, it takes less water, it tastes better. It's also something that you can use as like a science project for students.
The partnership is really important between Arlington Charities and TCC is because the city of Arlington itself is a huge melting pot. It has so many different cultural backgrounds, national origins, and so when they are able to partner with us, we're able to serve all those communities that sometimes get neglected.
As a Hispanic serving institution, equity, diversity, and inclusion are essential to the success of our civic engagement transformation.
We empower students to, to believe in themselves, on being Hispanic, and be proud of who we are. TCC in that aspect has provided funding for students to go to different conferences. It has provided funding for our students to actually thrive here on campus.
Being able to also understand other people's cultures and what they live through every day, since we're coming to different terms with different type of mindsets and being around different types of people.
And I really thought I was going to go in there and just see Spanish, but when I came in there, you did not just see Hispanic. You saw Asian, you saw African Americans, and it was pretty nice.
By building our community service and service learning programs, we allow students to become agents of change, both inside and outside of the classroom.
Teaching faculty how to increase civic engagement in their classroom has actually led to our students being much more engaged in their learning and in taking what they've learned and using that to make their community better.
In any way that you can affect the world or change in a little way, I feel like one little spark can start a big fire.
Community colleges serve the largest sector of undergraduate students in the United States and are committed to advancing the civic and community engagement of our students. As the president of the Southeast Campus, I fully understand that we are educating our next generation of leaders.
Tarrant County College District is committed to being student-ready and serving the community as one college. We are honored to receive the prestigious Eduardo J. Padron Award for Institutional Transformation.
Congratulations again to the acting chancellor, president, and the entire Tarrant County College community. Our third award in today's presentation is the Nadine Cruz Community Engagement Professional Award. This award is named in honor of Nadine Cruz, an innovative leader of community-based experiential learning and a pioneer of the movement for the public purposes of higher education. The Cruz Award recognizes exemplary community engagement professionals who have demonstrated a commitment to collaboration with communities, focus on transformative change, a commitment to justice-oriented work, and an impact on the larger movement to build ethical and effective community engagement locally, regionally, nationally, and globally. We're pleased today to recognize two exemplary community engagement professionals for the Nadine Cruz Award. First, Erkhovia Andrews, Assistant Director of Service Learning at Georgia Southern University. Erkhovia is recognized for her impact on the Georgia Southern University campus, the Statesboro community, and the Bullock County through her work in service learning and community engagement. With more than a decade of teaching communications and leadership courses at Georgia Southern University, Erkhovia has influenced dozens of campus and community-wide initiatives, local nonprofits, and countless students. We honor her commitment as a service learning expert, as well as a valued mentor, colleague, and advocate of community engagement. Erkhovia Andrews, meet her.
So I wish to say thank you to my parents, first and foremost, not simply because they're the reason that I'm here, but also because I like to make sure, especially when we're talking to folks who have been in a higher education setting, that they understand that I'm a first generation college student. And that's because, of course, my parents, but also because my parents were very instrumental in me getting to do something that they did not get a chance to do. And so because of that, I definitely want to make sure that I say thank you every time I can, as publicly as possible. But in addition to saying thank you to my parents, I also want to say thank you to my immediate family, my spouse, my kids, the fact that I try to label things as we're going to go have an experience, not we're going to go to mommy's job or do these things. And so they've been very supportive and willing to participate and come along and learn some new things and learn some new experiences. And I also want to say thank you to my colleagues, both former colleagues and current colleagues, who have allowed me to be in various spaces, to learn various things, and to see those things play out. And of course, I must point out my current director, Jody Kennedy, for just simply thinking, hey, I think she would be good at this. This is what we see, and we want to make sure that everyone else gets a chance to see this as well. And what drew me to the work that I currently do is just watching my parents, watching what they have done, what they've overcome, seeing them in the community constantly, us being in the community constantly. That is where that passion and that draw has come from watching them. And so as we watch them being in the community, I realize it's all about trying to level the playing field. And that is what I'm hoping that I've been doing in this position that I've been afforded the opportunity to be in at this time. So in terms of leveling the playing field, if you think about it, I've had the opportunity. I started my professional career as a faculty member. And from there, that was my first introduction to the term service learning. And then stepping back from that, I got the opportunity to experience it when I became a community partner and running a nonprofit. So experiencing it from that point. And then now being in this position and having the opportunity to see those things go full circle. I'm working with faculty now from this side of the spectrum or of the circle. And so what I mean by leveling out the playing field is that everyone within that circle, your faculty member, your students, your community partners, that whole complete circle, everyone within there is necessary in order for us to move forward. Everyone has to have a voice and everyone has to be on the same page. And because of that, there are some different things that have been put into place to make sure that this happens, to make sure that we all move the community forward. It's about how do we level out that playing field, but doing it within our community. I've seen my parents in our community. I've seen my family that get to go with me to be in the community. But we just want to move that community forward. And we want to do it in a way that is equitable. We want to do it in a way that is respectful. We want to do it in a way that is not a hindrance or a burden to anyone else. And so for that, I want to say, again, thank you for this opportunity and this chance and for this recognition, even though I realize I just get to be the person who accepts the award, but the award really goes to everyone in the community who I've had a chance to work with, talk to, and continue to just be a day in and day out partner for. So thank you.
Congratulations, Erkhovia. The second award winner of the Nadine Cruz Community Engagement Professional Award is Kent Kopp, founding executive director of the Sunborg Center for Community Engagement at Seattle University. Kent is being recognized for over 25 years of commitment to collaborating with communities to create transformative change, grounded in equity and justice. Through decades of leading the Seattle University Youth Initiative, the Sunborg Center for Community Engagement, and the Place-Based Justice Network, Kent has impacted hundreds of universities, fellow professionals, faculty, students, and communities across the country through his mentorship, facilitation, network and partnership development, and scholarship. Meet Kent.
Just want to thank Campus Compact for this award, and particularly want to recognize Nadine Cruz, who has been a mentor of mine for most of my professional life, and who the award is named after. Nadine, you continue to inspire me and so many others. I also just want to express gratitude to all those that I've had a chance to work with through my professional life, and to my family, Nadia, Kalani, and Ling. And when I reflect on this award, I think of the roots of how I got into this work. And I think of several different things. One is that I am the product of a teacher and a preacher. My parents, who growing up in Iowa, and the values that they instilled in me, and how what I do on a daily basis is somewhat of a combination of those two different careers that they chose and the values that they instilled in me. And then I also think of the roots for me of being a college student at Grinnell College. In the early evolution of Campus Compact, I became familiar with Campus Compact and some other national efforts early in my career, and Campus Compact has been my professional home, strong professional home throughout my career. So much gratitude for the recognition of this award, and also just sort of an awareness that we all step into this work through different paths. And for me, that it arose from family, and it arose from a commitment to justice, and really a love of connection, connecting campus and community, and the magic that can occur in those explorations. And for me, when I think of right now, the couple of things that I'm the most excited about and the most proud of in terms of what we've been doing at Seattle University, for over 10 years, we've had a place-based commitment to a set of neighborhoods that are adjacent to our campus that encompass our Chinatown International District, Yesler Terrace, which is a public housing community, and the Central District, which is the historic and cultural home of our African-American community. And that partnership has focused on youth and children and amplifying the voices of families and scholars that we work with so that young people can succeed in school and succeed in life. The types of things that we've been pursuing are partnerships in local schools, partnerships with housers in Seattle to combat displacement, with a particular lens towards racial equity and an awareness of the power dynamics of our campus working in the neighborhoods adjacent to us. And so when I also think, then how does that sort of, it's a sort of bit of an equation of the impact that we're pursuing in partnership with our neighbors, and then also what's occurring for our students on campus. During the pandemic, we launched a new course for incoming students during the summer called Engage in Seattle. It was a free 2-unit course that explores Seattle and all its contradictions. It's been an online course that we've offered for students to get to know Seattle. Students are often attracted to Seattle because of the background that I have in this picture behind me of Mount Rainier and downtown. But we also are a city that has great contradictions, from being the hub of some of the world's largest tech companies to families not being able to log on to the computer or have access to a computer at the beginning of the pandemic. An exciting endeavor for us has been this course that has exposed students to the contradictions, which then sort of sets them up for exploration of community engagement and being involved in the community throughout their time. Our world has many challenges, and I see us as on the prophetic edge of thinking through how higher education can be responsive to the crises that and the opportunities that we're experiencing as a nation and as a world at this time. Again, just want to thank Campus Compact for this award and for all that Campus Compact has done to nurture our field for so many years. Thank you.
Congratulations, Kent. The fourth award we are presenting tonight is the Richard Garcia Award for Institutional Transformation. This award recognizes 4-year or graduate institutions that have successfully implemented institution-wide efforts to address issues of public concern by aligning teaching, research, practice, and values in service of the common good. The award is named for Dr. Richard Garcia, former president of Wagner College and the former chair of our board of directors, a higher education leader whose efforts have transformed institutions to contribute to the goal of full participation in our communities and democracy. I had the pleasure of holding space this morning with Dr. Garcia, who is absolutely continuing to push us all. Similar to the Padron Award, we have recognized 2 outstanding institutions. The first recipient of this year's Richard Garcia Award for Institutional Transformation is Dominican University of California, under the leadership of President Nicola Pitchford. Dominican University of California has, for over the past decade, undertaken comprehensive and sustainable efforts to ensure community engagement is deeply embedded in its curriculum and programs. With the recent founding of its Center for Community Engagement and a revision to the curriculum that centers community engagement, the university has continued to enhance what it calls the Dominican experience, a signature educational model that includes community engagement as one of its 4 essential elements. Please get to know Dominican University of California.
When we redesigned our curriculum to focus on our real strengths and the strengths that our diverse student population brings to Dominican, we knew that community engagement had to be at the center of the purpose of a Dominican education.
As your students spend time in the community, they learn a lot of the challenges that people encounter. Our students become an important bridge then to lift up and help represent and present their voices. And because service learning courses are mostly in our general education curriculum, our students have the opportunity to scaffold their community engaged experiences throughout their 4 years of education at Dominican. We have a minor in community action, social change. We have a major in social justice and a new minor in Latino studies.
As a faculty member using community engagement in the classroom, it represents our interconnectedness with the larger community.
I feel that my presence that I bring into the community helps uplift community voices. Working with this community has also allowed me to put into practice the theoretical framework that we are learning in class. I am learning more about oppressive structures and how we can combat them through community action.
My positionality is definitely important working in the community. I believe that being bilingual has been a huge asset of mine. Having an immigrant background has brought a lot with it, and to be able to bring that to the table, I found that it's my best asset, bringing to the community and letting them know that it's okay to have these hard conversations about the different experiences that they've gone through.
Because of the pandemic, we saw the need of Spanish bilingual students to support the immigrant community in the canal and support them in their native language. The Dominican students show a lot of commitment in this project because they saw parallels with their own families and how difficult it was for their parents to use technology. So once we started with the digital literacy program with the Spanish bilingual students, we saw there was a lot of more need for them to support programs in the canal.
Being at Dominican for 4 years has really given me the tools to be an active member and work within the community. We are working with an organization called Voces de Canal, which is based of canal residents, and we are talking about the importance of having lighting and for more safety within their residents of the canal community.
The relationships that the service learning program has established over the last 15 years have been foundational to the success of this project. And there will also be central to our ongoing work with the community moving forward.
Para mí significa muchísimo, significa seguridad en mi comunidad, significa un logro para que todos vivamos aquí una vida más estable.
I think what is important right now is that we're taking the partnership to the next level. We're bringing more intentionality to the work that we do. We do have an opportunity to build a better place for all of us.
Teaching through engaged citizenship, through community engagement and community partnerships is the right thing to do, and it's the most effective thing we can do for our students' learning, to make that learning real and to test it against the worlds that they are going to be changing.
Congratulations again, Dominican University of California. The second recipient of this year's Richard Garcia Award for Institutional Transformation is James Madison University, under the leadership of President Jonathan Alger. JMU has defined civic engagement as advancing the legacy of James Madison by preparing individuals to be active and responsible participants in our democracy. Campus Compact honors JMU's work that continues to prepare students for lives of engaged citizenship and embraces its place-based responsibility to contribute to the health and strength of its local community. Please get to know James Madison University.
It's a great honor for James Madison University to receive Campus Compact's Richard Guarassi Award for Institutional Transformation. On a personal note, I'm especially pleased because Richard Guarassi has been a friend and mentor to me and many others who care deeply about this work. This recognition reflects the efforts of many people all across campus who help prepare our students for lives of meaning and purpose, and ensure that we apply the knowledge we create and share in the classroom to real-world challenges in our community and the world around us. JMU has embraced a vision to become what we call the national model of the engaged university, engaged with ideas and the world. We're the opposite of the isolated ivory tower. Our educational mission is grounded in a strategic plan built around community engagement, civic engagement, and engaged learning. Being named for the father of the U.S. Constitution bestows on JMU a special responsibility to pursue our mission as an institution in the context of the public good. We've intentionally implemented institution-wide efforts to align our teaching, research, practice, and values in service of the common good. We define civic engagement as advancing the legacy of James Madison by preparing individuals to be active and responsible participants in our democracy. As reflected in our Civic Action Plan, we embrace our identity as an anchor institution for the Shenandoah Valley, serving as an engine to challenge social and economic inequalities that threaten our democratic future. Here are just a few examples of how this commitment translates into action. The Valley Scholars Program, an ambitious outreach partnership with 7 local public school districts that provides a pathway to college and scholarships for hundreds of economically disadvantaged and first-generation students.
Being a Valley Scholar means a lot. It kind of opened doors for me, being the first generation to go to college in my family.
A new Economic Development Council and Pandemic Recovery Series, engaging with hundreds of businesses and nonprofit community partners to build economic resilience and entrepreneurship in our region. The James Madison Center for Civic Engagement, which provides leadership on incorporating civic learning and engagement in the curriculum, student life, and in the community.
When I first learned about JMU and I was studying the work that's already happened here, what I see is a very engaged campus community.
An award-winning community service learning program, the Engagement Mini-Grants, which support faculty and student initiatives that engage with the community. The Madison Vision Series, bringing renowned speakers to our community to help us focus on important public policy challenges of our time. A task force on racial equity, which has included members of our community as we address important issues of social justice. Our Furious Flower Poetry Center, the nation's leading center of African American poetry and a powerful voice for social change. And a suitcase clinic for the homeless and other forms of healthcare support for our local community that have been especially vital during the pandemic. These initiatives and many others at JMU demonstrate our commitment to the public good. We're honored to receive the Guarassi Award for Institutional Transformation and are grateful to Campus Compact for its leadership and dedication to this work that is important to the health and vitality of a democratic society.
Congratulations again, President Alger and the entire James Madison University community. Our final Impact Award presentation tonight is for the Thomas Erlich Civically Engaged Faculty Award. Compact has proudly given out this award since 1995, and it was previously known as the Thomas Erlich Faculty Award for Service Learning, a reflection of the evolution of our field. The award is named in honor of Thomas Erlich, former chair of the Campus Compact Board of Directors and President Emeritus of Indiana University. This award recognizes senior faculty members at both 2-year and 4-year institutions for exemplary engaged scholarship, including leadership in advancing student civic learning, conducting community-based research, fostering reciprocal community partnerships, and building institutional commitments to service learning, civic engagement, and other means of enhancing higher education's contributions to the public good. Similar to the Linton Award, we want to recognize 2 finalists for this year's Erlich Award. They are Brian Sokol, Director of the Center for Service and Community Engagement and Associate Professor of Psychology at St. Louis University, and Laura Roseanne Adderley, Associate Professor of History at Tulane University. We're pleased now to recognize the 2 recipients for this year's Thomas Erlich Civically Engaged Faculty Award. The first is Kimberly Booch, Professor of Psychology at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. In over 2 decades of teaching, Kimberly has engaged over 500 students in service learning and supervised over 80 students engaged scholarship projects, many of which have led to publications and presentations with students as co-authors. Dr. Booch is recognized for significant scholarship in teaching that is deeply involves students and communities and resulted in mutually beneficial partnerships. Please get to know Kimberly.
Thank you, Campus Compact, for recognizing my work. This award is especially meaningful to me because Campus Compact has been such a valuable resource throughout my career. I don't know of a more impactful organization for supporting and advancing service learning and engaged scholarship in higher education than Campus Compact. As a psychology professor, I was drawn to service learning as an ideal pedagogy for students preparing to enter the helping professions. So I began incorporating service learning into my courses early in my teaching career, and I saw its benefits firsthand. Later, when I was asked to create a psychology learning community, I built it around a community service theme. The most exciting project that grew out of the learning community was inspired by a hunger summit hosted by North Carolina Campus Compact. There, my students and I learned about the growing problem of hunger and food insecurity facing college students, and we were inspired to address the problem back on our own campus. We garnered campus and community support and were soon able to open a student-led on-campus food pantry that later added a community garden and professional clothing closet. Since then, the pantry has provided a service learning site for hundreds of students while also providing food security assistance to hundreds more. I'd like to close by thanking you all once again. It is an honor to join the company of past Erlich Award recipients, and I'll do my best to support and inspire the continuation of their legacy. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Kimberly. The second recipient of this year's Erlich Faculty Award is Vanessa Martinez, Professor of Anthropology at Holyoke Community College. Vanessa is recognized for her teaching and scholarship that inspires students to take on leadership roles in their communities. Through her academic work that focuses on storytelling, culturally responsive pedagogy, and cultural humility, Vanessa invites diverse students to learn about community-based organizations, advocate and fundraise for their community needs based on their own engaged research, and think critically about the role they play in their communities. Please meet Vanessa.
I want to say thank you to Campus Compact and my colleague, Lisa Mann from Holyoke Community College, who nominated me for this award. I am so honored. When I was very young, my parents nurtured me and shared with me a love of others. My mom was a counselor doing everything from taking care of youth to substance abuse prevention, while my military father was rising up the ranks and supporting young soldiers all along the way. We would save up money to visit my bisabuela, Tata, in San Sebastián, Puerto Rico, and I would see her taking care of her neighbors, sending us with hugs and food to share. These role models taught me empathy and the importance of showing up for people. I was an extremely curious child who loved to ask a lot of questions. My favorite ones started with why. Why do people have to die? Why does God allow pain? Why do some people live in cardboard boxes? My mom would smile at me, saying how smart I was to ask so many questions and how important it was for me to find the answers for myself. This encouraged me toward a path of seeking answers in and with community. My path to becoming a community college professor whose courses require community engagement and service learning was not a straight line. I actually never planned to teach. At first, teaching was a means to an end, a paycheck to ensure my ability to stay in my PhD program. Coming from a working class background and realizing the graduate funding was drying up, I became desperate to find a new guaranteed funding source. And so I applied for a full-time position at Holyoke Community College. Mentoring and teaching students became a passion. And to continue my own growth, I would seek out new opportunities to learn how to be a better teacher. I started to merge my love of learning with my desire to do good in my community. Being able to combine my work as a nonprofit leader of the Women of Color Health Equity Collective and my work as a professor has been the most exciting for me. 2 years ago, while two pandemics raged on, the coronavirus and the police killings of Black people, 4 women of color, myself included, made the decision to expand our mission to advance health and wellness by building community capacity and advocating for just policies. This work has led me to not only involve my classes at HCC, but to create internships for student leaders wanting to focus on research and advocacy. My students are learning research skills, engaging in their community, seeing their work being used, and advocating for more equitable health policies. They are starting to see themselves as the global citizens and change makers they can be. I am proud that their work is also being valued through this award. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Vanessa, and all of the individuals and institutions that were recognized today. That concludes our Impact Award presentation for this year, and it also includes Day 2 of Compact 22, and what a full one it has been. We appreciate you being with us and helping to celebrate all of these exemplars and the impact they are having on our field and will have in the future. We're going to resume tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time for a conversation with Juan Salgado on full participation. Look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.